Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the Daily Scan for Friday, October 4th, 2013. Well, one little off-the-cuff comment here. You may have noticed that the thumbnails that I've been using the default of what YouTube gives you, which is basically just a snapshot of your video. Been having a problem with my Photoshop program. It's not Photoshop, it's Photoshop Elements, I believe it's called. A more affordable version of Photoshop, and I had a corrupted database. So I found out how to fix it yesterday, and I fixed it, and now we should be back with a nice looking thumbnail. I'm going generic, so in case something like that happens again, I can always use the generic one. Alright, what is happening? Well, what happened yesterday was jobless claims came in a little bit better than expected, which was a good thing. I didn't look at factory orders or ISM or anything else. Yesterday there was some activity in Washington, D.C., other than hot air blowing around. In case you missed that, certainly you could not hardly watch any news channel yesterday afternoon without thinking that 9/11 was starting all over again. And it was starting in Washington, and it was just one person. I think that the news people are just like looking for anything to hang on to, and they were interviewing everybody in Washington, and it was just a little bit overbearing for me. So I went and I watched the military channel for a while. I mean, what the heck, let's have some fun. So for today, let's get back on track here. For today, it's showing employment situation, but I believe that even though jobless claims got out yesterday, it must have been an essential worker to get that jobless claims out. They must not have been non-essential. Employment situation, I believe, will not come out today, but who knows? All right, moving right along here, let's see what happened overseas. First, we'll look out the left coast, and over in Asia, pretty kind of mixed, nothing really fantastic going on there. Lacking direction, I guess you would say, across the board. And Europe is looking pretty positive this morning. Most indexes are up robustly, while a couple of them here, the FTSE and the DAX, the FTSE 100 anyway, are looking pretty flat. Okay, let's go over and see what's happening here. I heard somebody say the market is searching for direction, so I'm going to use that term here too. At 19, it definitely could go either way at the open. Gold is still down here in the lower 1300s pretty significantly, and oil is starting to creep back up again. See, 2 weeks, I'm going up north, up to Wisconsin, and oil is going to be at $110 a barrel. Just you wait and see. I shouldn't have said anything back when I was talking about it. Alright, so let's look at the account. Netflix had a little bit of a pullback yesterday, but I don't think I'm going to worry about it. Let's take a look and see overnight if there's anything going on here. Overnight looks relatively solid, drifting up slightly, so there shouldn't be too much to worry about there. It should end up exiting significantly enough out of the money that I don't have to really do anything about it. We're talking 18.5 cents for the short option. So what I will do is throw an alert on here below this low, And if anything should happen, laptop's a little bit slow this morning. If anything should happen, at least I'll know about it. So that's what I'm doing. It's not open a trade alert, that's a bail alert. Should that happen that way. And then SPX definitely is, there's nothing to worry about there. Let's see how close we are to a nickel. Well, we're pretty far away at 32 cents. But I don't believe that there's really anything to worry about here. I think that there's too much turmoil and troubles in Washington to have the market do anything positive. And then I actually heard yesterday, I couldn't believe my ears, where the president said this is going to be a negative impact on the market. I think he said had an interview on CNBC or something like that. And I don't know. He's not in the business of forecasting markets. He's in the business of, I guess, keeping Washington running smoothly. And I don't think he's doing a very good job at this time, in my opinion. So we should not have a problem there. Celgene, this particular one here, which is the calendar, I'm going to show you that on the Analyze tab. I think I might bail on this today, especially if we get a little bit more movement down. I think it may have made its move down for the time being. This is just my opinion, but I got some profit in it. Here it's showing 147.91. What do we have over here? 148. So I might just bail on that today. I have it in my notes. Depends. I don't know if we're going to get out of that today or not. And gold, we're just sitting here. That's a very long-term trade, at least longer than what we're used to. Lastly, overnight, the stocks that we were looking at for overnights, which was Apple, Priceline, and Tesla. Let's take a look at those. Let's go to the A+ list. Alright, so I wanted these to continue in the direction that they were going, and looking at this later on in the afternoon, or around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, I didn't feel comfortable enough to, I would have had to pick like 485 as the strike price here on Apple, and I definitely was not going to do that. 480 was too far down. I like to limit my risk by doing a 1-to-1 risk reward, so I want to be able to collect $2.50 on a $5 spread. And I like to do this on a continuation. It's a stock that has a very strong price action in one direction, and then before the market closes, somewhere between 3 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, go ahead and do a at the money spread in the direction that it's going. In this case, it would have been a bull put, but again, it was too much of a stretch to get to this 485, and I wasn't going to do it. And that was on Apple and pretty much the other ones too. Priceline, yeah, things are a little slow today. Same thing. Was not feeling confident about a bullish spread on this at the money. And then last but not least was Tesla that we were looking at, and we were looking to go to the downside with this, and it was moving up in the afternoon. It's 175 may have been a nice strike to do something with. Maybe not at 250, but at least getting $2 out of it. But didn't do it. I would like to see, maybe shoot up in the morning, and then if I'm going bullish, shoot up in the morning. Well, let's take a look at we'll look at Apple and use that as an example. like a day like this, or a day like this, shoots up in the morning, and by the time I look at it in the afternoon, it's looking pretty strong. We got some green candles. It's continuing to move up, even though slightly. A lot of these make their big moves right away in the open. And then if it continues, if it's strong, it's going to continue for the day. And in this case, that would have been a good overnight trade had it happened on Thursday. I like to do them Thursday night because once they go out of the money, you're doing an at the money spread, and once they go out of the money, then you have the value of your short strike is very near to zero right away during the day if it, say, gaps up in the morning. And then you can just pull out of it and take your money. Even though your max would have been 250, you go for the 200 or whatever and call it a day or call it a night, whatever you want to call it. But I'm rambling a little bit here, so every alert went off yesterday that I had, and I didn't do a single trade. So that's just the way it is, right? Because let's take a look at Amazon just as an example. And this is a reason why you don't trade before 10 o'clock in the morning. So Amazon shot up at the open. It opened here and shot up. My alert went off, and all it did was just pull back basically. Oh, was that? Yeah, that was yesterday. All it did basically was pull back the rest of the day. And everything that I got an alert on, including Baidu, which I was going to chase yesterday, and later on in the day it might have been a good thing to get into, because it actually looked a little bit stronger during the day than a lot of other stocks, but still, that's why you don't trade before 10 o'clock and preferably later. Okay, so we looked at Apple, not for that though, we looked at Apple for an overnight trade. So let's take a look here. Maybe we're looking for a new target. That's probably what we're going to do here. We're going to set it over there, and then we'll wait. Amazon. Amazon's making a nice strong move. It's kind of moving sideways. So, oops. Wrong. There we go. We need to get our target up here. We might be looking for something here. We'll see if we get it. Baidu. Alright, we're coming down here. Maybe we'll get a target entry instead of chasing it. So let's activate that, and we'll slide it over a little bit and see if we come down and hit that target. Celgene, like I mentioned, we'll be getting out of that today. It's very close to the strikes on the put calendar. It's very close to max profit. And is it doing anything this morning? We just got a bunch of flat prints here. I can't believe that somebody actually did trade. 100 shares, 200 shares, 4,439 shares. Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay. We'll probably get out of that. We're looking at a nice target here, potentially developing. Let's see if it comes down there and gives us a chance to jump in with a bull put. CF. Okay, well, I guess the alert didn't go off on CF, did it? I think it's still a valid alert, so I am going to leave that in there. You can see that yesterday's market action didn't seem to bother CF a whole heck of a lot. So it might be a pretty good one to get in, and I might, like I mentioned before, might get in with a regular monthly expiration on that one. Take these off of here so that I don't have to wait for data for that chart too. Chipotle. Chipotle looked rather strong with yesterday's market action as well. Now that would be also a pretty good chase trade, and you can see that we have earnings in a couple weeks on that, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Let's just zoom in here a little bit so we can see the weeks better. These little dotted lines here, if you're out too far, it's not valid for showing you the weeks, but at this zoom level it is valid. So we have another, we could do a trade this week on it, and next week we're not doing anything. So earnings season is coming. We'll pull back a little bit on what we're doing, probably stick with just our SPX trade. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. And then we'll think about maybe doing some sort of earnings trade as the season approaches. Alright, so Apple, wow. Google. Google definitely gave us a nice hook here. Alright, so they have earnings coming up as well that very same week. So we're going in here with an alert on Google. You know, my brain is a little fried this morning too for some reason. I don't know why. Alright, Goldman. Alright, we got what I would consider a good signal here. We came up and we touched the 55 with %K, and that's good enough for us to give us a secondary entry. So let's look for some price action down here so we have an alert as well. Ooh. And we'll do last at or below. Okay. So we'll be looking for something on that one. Alright, LinkedIn. I was going to do an iron condor on LinkedIn. I still haven't done that yet. Sure would be playing out well, wouldn't it? Alright, so maybe I can focus a little bit on that today. I would probably do that with a regular monthly expiration at this time. We don't have any earnings coming up for them, do we? Yeah, maybe out here they're thinking. So we have a while to play with that one. And this would be normal expiration here, so we're only in it a couple weeks. I have to make sure that I focus in. I had so many alerts go off yesterday, it actually confused me. And I don't know why I didn't do that LinkedIn trade. MasterCard. Alright, we definitely are in an uptrend here. I'm a little concerned about everything rolling over here. I'm going to take this target off. We have a lot of things, a lot of confirmation that there might be a move to the downside, or a change in direction here, I guess you might say. Even on the intraday chart, we're seeing a lot of negative indicators here. I mean, it's been moving down for quite a while. So, I don't know. I'm just gonna not doing anything on that one either. we'll take a pass on that. Wait for it to decide what it really wants to do. All right, Netflix. Yeah, this is a bail alert here, and we're just not going to do it. There's nothing there for us at this moment. Priceline actually beat out Google as $1,000 stock. Can you believe it? Suppose Twitter will be the next $1,000 stock because everybody's tweeting. Oh, let's go back to Priceline. Take a look at it. Okay, moving up very, very nicely. There was a pullback here, but it still didn't come down to meet us. This could be a chase trade if you feel like chasing something. A little bit pricey to chase, though, if you were to do something. What are we looking at here? I wouldn't want to do anything over the weekend. No, let's forget it. I wouldn't even suggest doing a chase trade on that. Let's take a look at Tesla. I don't believe any new cars started on fire yesterday, but still not doing very good here at all. Not doing well at all. But I think it's going to come back, so we're just going to wait. We'll throw Target in down here and see if it develops, ladies and gentlemen. And then last but not least is Visa, which also has been kind of taking a digger lately. I think we're going to get a trend change here. So we're going to throw an alert on this one as well. And we only have a few alerts then for today, and I won't get confused. Actually, I wasn't confused. It's just like all these alerts go off, and I go and look at them going, nope. Sorry, Charlie, nothing for me there. So let's move this over to like here because we have a lot of confirmation. We got it's looking bearish, 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 bearish. So, and of course bearish. So looking good there. All right. That's the last one. So now we have Visa. So for today it's Google with a bear call, Goldman Sachs with a bear call, and Visa with a bear call. And our alert on CF with a bull put is still valid. And we're looking at LinkedIn Iron Condor again for like the third day in a row. Maybe I'll do something this time. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.